Hey guys, what's going on? It's Brad Fusion here, and today I'm playing some Space Invaders. And before I begin this episode, I want to apologize to you guys for the lack of videos lately, and that is because I've been seriously ill, and even now I'm still not feeling that well, but I kinda owe you guys videos. It's been about 2 or 3 days, and I thought, no, I can't just sit down and do nothing. So here I am making another video. This one will be kind of short because, like I said, I'm still not feeling all too well, but I'll do my best to get through this video as quickly as possible. So, they released an update last night, I believe it was, that added quite a few things and changed a few of the older blocks, more so than just, what was it? I'll get to that in a second. So, they've added the ability to use a custom color palette, or instead of being limited to just those 6 colors that were there before, red, what was it? I think it was red, yellow, green, blue, white, grey, and black. Now, you can have a whole array of colours, and I've actually painted this ship over here with all the colours you have available. Now, this isn't limited to, this was every 10 degrees, and when I say 10 degrees, I mean, when you pull out a block here, you press P. Now this gives you your colour picker. Now the way I've painted this thing here is I put the saturation up to maximum, and the value here up to 100, and I've gone through the hue 10% at a time, moving across one block here, all the way right to the end, where that white line is. So you guys can see all these different colors here, and it looks really cool, the fact that now you have the ability to use whatever colors you want, instead of just being limited to the first few. So I can imagine people doing either art or just amazing looking ships using different colors, and even using lines throughout ships to navigate, you know, or to label different rooms. Say like green would be for the medical bay and the red would be for the engineering area or something like that. You guys can go to your heart's content, really. They have also added this little thing here. This is when you create the Easy Start 1 world. Now on, you'll get this little platform here with a little block floating in. I think this is so you can start building your very first ship without worrying about bumping it all too often. And let me zoom in here, get rid of my HUD, and I'll show you me actually bumping into it. And you guys can see I can push the block, but it snaps right back to where it is, and it's really quite adorable pushing this thing around. It's a little teeny cubey. So anyway, oh, I thought I was sitting then, or kneeling. Well, I am kneeling, but I thought I was down on 2 knees. So yeah, now you can build this thing here, and it's got a little teeny barrier, and I quite like this thing. I guess it's good for newer players who accidentally bump their ships when they're building, so they can start from this block here and just work their way around it. As you guys can see here, this is me just messing around with the different colors on different block types. So you have the light armor blocks, you have the heavy armor blocks, and I thought maybe you could do these blocks here, but you can actually do these interior walls here, which are actually called interior walls. And as you guys can see, they actually look really quite cool. These used to be just plain grey, but now you can actually color them. Obviously there's still some grey piping on it, but the majority of the colors being changed. If you look at it from the top, you've got these little sections here that are the same color. And I quite like that, because these used to be, like I said, quite grey. Now I have tried out a few other blocks here, including the ramps and whatnot, and you cannot paint these just yet. I have a feeling that maybe later on you'll be able to change certain color values, so maybe on the gravity you'll be able to change the color of the light, which I thought would be a really cool idea. But what they did change is the ladders. Now the ladders were already removed out of the system about a few weeks ago, when they actually removed the actual climbing functionality, and they just left it kind of a bare bonesy ladder, and they said that they were going to change it to corridors, and now they've actually gone through with that, and now here is the passage block. Sorry, I thought it was called corridors, it was actually called passages. So you can place it like this, and I guess you could use it like a cryopod, which is what I've been using in my other worlds. So this even looks more like a cryopod than the previous one does, so that's cool. But this is what it looks like when you walk through it. The passageway, it does look really cool, I have to admit. It's very space-like, and I might use this throughout my ships every now and then. If you're going between one station or one module to the next, you'll have these in between, so that's cool. Another thing that they did, which I'm really happy about, is they made it they made it so that you can change the property of the gravity generators, and the way you can do this is by changing the height of it, the depth of it, and the width of it, and also the strength of it as well. And how you do this is, there's one right here, You can walk up to it, you can press K, and now you can see here, I can change the field width, height, depth, and acceleration. The less the acceleration is, the less of a pull it actually has on your character. So if I go here and fall down, you guys can see that, oh well, I'm still moving up because I let go of my jetpack when I was going up, but if I start going down, you guys can see I'm going down really, really slowly. Now for whatever reason this doesn't affect jumping so much, well it does, but you don't gain extra height when you jump. As you guys can see, my character looks like a retard jumping on the spot. That's basically what we're going to get unless you turn your jetpack on and kind of fling yourself up. You can see your character will go up for quite a while. This is on, I think that was on 3.1, sorry, 0.01? 0.01. Now you can go into negative. Now you kind of can guess what this does, and that just allows the gravity generator to work the other way around. So if you didn't want to put a gravity generator on the ground, instead you want to put it on the ceiling, you can actually invert it that way so that works out alright for you. So I'm going to put this back to its normal 1G, which allows me to walk around here. Now if you look at this, you'll think, well, they're too close together, they're going to interact. I've actually made it so that they don't interact with each other, and I can actually walk along here. I'll turn my little thing on so you can see the gravity down the bottom right. You guys can actually see that I can actually... Why am I not able to do this now? Seriously, the one time I start recording, it's like, nope, sorry, nope. Let me get rid... I think this was the actual problem here. Let me come back over here and try that again, because it was working. I was actually messing around with this before. It was quite fun to walk around it. It's not working now. Wait, oh, I'm a idiot. I deleted these. Yep, my fault. I actually disconnected these for whatever reason. I think because I was painting. Okay, now we should have these back online. Sorry about that. That was a bit weird. So as you guys can see, I can now walk around this thing perfectly fine because the gravity field is limited to a certain area on each wall. And actually, speaking of that, there's a key you can press now in the game that allows you to see these really, really weird things. If you press Alt, Shift, and F12, you turn on this weird developer/modder thing. That makes everything look really funky. But it actually allows you to see the gravity range here. I don't know why these are called phantoms, but just ignore that for now. As you guys can see, this one here affects this range here, and if I fly around you guys can see how wide it is as well, and each one affects a certain area, as you guys can see. Now, I don't understand the way this thing colors the blocks. As you guys can see here, all the colors are just extremely weird. Now, I'm not entirely sure what this is for. I know that they've included the collision model in some of the blocks here. I think the ones on the inside actually have a collision model as well. Where is the... I flew to the wrong section. I think the gravity generators actually have their own thing as well. Let me find where that is. Here's one, the gravity generator here. You can see it's got this little bubble around it. I think that's where the collision model is. I think this is to help out with modders to figure out where the collision box actually is when they implement a new entity type. So you guys can see some wireframe on this thing here. I figured something out that was quite neat. If you actually equipped either the hand drill or the automatic rifle in this situation, if you look through the rifle down the bottom, you can actually see through blocks, and that looks so cool. I loved... Well, actually I can aim down the sights and you can see that a little bit better. So you guys can actually see through all the blocks, and it looks really, really cool. I think this does it better, though I don't think I can actually aim... Sorry. Yeah, I can't aim down this, but you guys can see through all the blocks. And like I said, it does look extremely cool. I spent a little while doing this when the update came out, but as you guys can see, I can see through everything now. And I like it. But like I said, this is simply so... I guess it's more helpful for if you're doing the gravity range thing, so you can see where exactly your gravity generators are reaching. So let me turn this back off now. And let me go back to talking about the colors. But before I do that, actually, I did hear that they did actually fix the whole rocket stacking situation. So let me grab another rocket here. And let me stick one on front of the other, if it would let me do that. Will you let me do that now? Not just yet. Let me put another block across here, and across here, and I'll stick... where is it? There it is. Another one on top. Now, as far as I've heard, like I said, if you try and stack these, they will blow themselves up. So let me get it away from everything else. Let me fly over here, and let me actually try and fire these and see whether or not they would actually blow themselves up. So here we go, firing. Yes, that has been confirmed. You can blow yourself up using the rockets. Well, I mean, if you actually stack them in front of each other. I think the same goes for the Gatling guns, so I'm about to try this out now, whether or not you can actually just shoot yourself. Let me put this down here. And I think the bullet's actually getting stuck inside. I don't think it's actually... Oh, there we go. Yes, it actually broke through. So yes, you are actually damaging yourself. Now, I think they did fix the whole turning around and shooting thing so that you don't actually hit yourself. Though I can't be 100% sure on that just yet. I haven't actually had too much time to test out. Let's see, I do see a bit of smoke popping out, but I think that's simply just from the guns itself. So I don't think I've actually been able to damage myself just from spinning around like that. So there's that done. And now let me go back to the color thing as well. And I was just thinking, you can actually do some sort of optical camouflage as well to more so blend in with the environment. And so I tried painting this thing here to match in with the skybox, and it's probably the closest I could actually get to the skybox itself. It looks really, like, I mean, obviously your ship won't be completely invisible, but it would be a little bit harder to see if you kept your distance. Now the blocks do go a little bit more grayscale the further away you fly. I think that's because of the little lines on it, like you can see here and here, these lines and all that are still visible even at quite a fair distance away. And I should mention one more thing before I end this video really quickly here. Is that with the colors, if they aren't the exact same colors, they won't connect. So this green here in the middle is only 1 or 2% or 1 or 2 degrees off up here. So this bit here, say, is about, I think it was 99. This one here was 99, and these ones on the outside here was about 100. And just because it was 1% off, you get this grey border here that kind of separates the two. So you guys can see that the blue isn't the same as green, so you got the grey line here. And even if the green is just 1% off, it still puts that little barrier there. I don't know how I feel about these little barriers being all over the place. As you guys can see, it separates everything. And you guys can see it more effectively over here in between every single line. See, as you guys can see, all this is the one color, so there's no need for the grey bars to be separating them. But all these are 10% off, so you've got the bars in between. And I don't know how I feel about that. I know that it's been in the game for a while now, but I mean, maybe they'll get rid of these bars. Nonetheless, it still looks pretty cool. So I'm going to end the video here. But if you guys create art and whatnot in Space Engineers, send me a link to your workshop so I can maybe feature it in like the start or end of my videos. Anyways, I'll end this here. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.